So I'm Greg May. I'm the president of May Specialty Underwriters. We were launched in November of 2021, and then we were operational, up and running by March of 2022. It's been a tremendous 3+ years. We've added about $140 million of gross written premium from inception to date, and we pride ourselves on being an excess casualty E&S underwriting, I should say MGU, managing general underwriter. And to us, the underwriting piece is the most important. Profitable underwriting is kind of the backbone of everything that we do. That's the purpose of this, is the underwriting focus and the underwriting expertise. So when you're starting an MGA, I think the very most foundational piece is really you need to have knowledge in the market you want to enter. And for us, that was, we lived in the excess casualty space, we lived in the E&S, wholesale exclusive space. And so the very, foundation of our business plan was a market that we knew needed some capacity options and that we knew we could potentially serve, by starting this MGA business. I couldn't imagine trying to launch an MGA if I didn't know enough about the market. You need to be so ingrained in every aspect, from actual insureds to distribution sources to reinsurance and how that applies. Obviously the pricing and the underwriting terms are of utmost importance as well, of course. But when starting an MGA, like I mentioned earlier, having a partner you know and trust is I found to be very helpful. But really knowing the market you want to enter and having high quality distribution sources that you can rely on, to me that was the most important piece of this entire launch. So I would say when starting an MGA, know the market you want to enter. You've got to be willing to take the risk. We did a lot of the work in the early stages on weekends and at nights, building a business plan, putting together underwriting guidelines, building a pricing model, getting a broker's license, doing all of these things that would have taken us away from our day-to-day, 9 to 5 when we were trying to build a business. So you've got to be able to kind of throw yourself into it. You've got to know the market you want to enter. And ultimately, there's a little bit of risk involved, but the enjoyment we've gotten out of it, the effort that we put in, and then the results we've seen, it's more than paid off in the grand scheme. So we didn't know DOXA, and they found us in the early 2021, mid 2021, and I would say it was a leap of faith for us to join because we didn't know them. But every promise they made along the way, from 2021 up through now in 2025, every kind of commitment they made has come through, to the letter. And that's when we need resources, they provide them. When we need underwriting support or actuarial background resource, they provide it. The systems have been incredible, and even down to the HR and the IT and the infrastructure that they provide has been so helpful. I mean, I couldn't imagine starting an MGA business, maybe any business, but an MGA business without that infrastructure and resource, because I feel like you'd be spending your entire day trying to get your dental benefits, like I didn't know any of that stuff, but DOXA's provided so much of that to alleviate the concern about, just the back office and the infrastructure, as well as the systems and a lot of it, and then the expertise they have. They manage a number of these high quality MGAs, so they're very helpful in kind of helping to guide when it comes to a fork in the road. They're helping to guide us, one direction over the other. So they've been, DOXA the entire time has kind of met every promise they made, and it's made working and building our business so much more efficient.